Zippity bop bam, zippity boop boo. Hey everybody, welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pinnings, also known as Crack Palantir, and I will be your host and game master for this episode 121 of Brise's Tale. As always, my good buddy Max is here to play Brise. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hello, everybody. Hope you had a hope you had a good Valentine's Day, regardless of your status, marital or otherwise. And thanks for joining us this Thursday for episode. Which one was it again?
121. It's crazy. 121. I guess we'll do another celebration like at 150. I guess, which might be probably about this time next year.
You know what I should have said is for all those who celebrate Valentine's Day and all those who don't observe it. You know,
that's right.
I just choose not to observe Valentine's Day. That's what it is.
That's right. So why don't you give us wait, that's not what I wanted. Where the heck is the thing? That's weird. While you were talking, I was gonna modify this caption. There, weird. When you hit modify, it shoots the caption you're going to modify all the way down at the bottom of your list.
Excellent.
How irritating. So why don't you tell people the crazy thing that you're waiting on right now in the game?
Yeah, so we've been waiting quite a while for the appearance of this divine entity named Obreve. And so a while back, I had met these otherworldly creatures called the Awan, and they were very kind, very friendly, and they said, "We are here on your world, on your realm, to witness the passing of the God who created everything in their religion, named Obreve. Apparently, this massive entity that just passes peacefully through worlds, mostly peacefully through worlds, and they try to track them, their appearance down, and set up a whole event with stands and tents and food and everything, the whole 9 yards basically. And so we arrived at the site where all of the hubbub is, and Obreve should appear in the next 2 to 4 days, I believe, or 1 to 4 days. So we're kind of chilling out for now. We actually took a little detour exploring the homeworld of the Awan, because all these portals, right? People are just coming from other worlds to witness this event. And so we got to spend the last couple episodes exploring the homeworld of the Awan. That was very fun, very interesting. I would recommend you go check those out.
Odisse.
Odisse, right.
Odisse is the world, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of different really interesting alien races, which you'll see a lot of in this session, in the previous sessions. We'll probably explain them as they come up, as we usually do. But I think that's mostly everything. So we're pretty much in a valley in the southern Nargas, in the mountains, pretty much in the wilderness. No other. I'm the only human here for miles around. And I'm getting a lot of curious looks and questions about where I come from, and I'm like, I'm from here.
That's right. What do you mean? Where are you from?
Apparently, no humans have really witnessed, or dwarves or goblins have witnessed this passing. So,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's not your typical role playing, but I hope we can say that for all of Karandrin. That it's really not your typical just adventure thing. It is encountering people and things that the normal person who just stays at home in their village will never see, which is sort of how I view an adventurer's life. Yes, there's some, treasure seeking and glory seeking, but also there's just this desire to see the world in every aspect. And so certainly this is a unique aspect. So as Max said, Brise is in this valley in the mountains of the Goblin Nation of Nargaz, and and is sort of waiting with all of these travelers from another dimension. Actually, we learn multiple worlds are represented here, and they're waiting for their god to appear. This is also the second time that it's visited Karandrin. I forget how long ago the other visit was, more than 100 years, but I can't remember how far back. And that time it occurred over the ocean, and so they actually had to construct ships. So it's it's a big gathering of literally tens of thousands of people, and they've built stands on the slopes, and there's tents for vendors and all this kind of stuff. And Brise is just waiting, watching all of this stuff go by. Why don't you roll for me? Let's see what there is to see.
Yeah, mid-afternoon, rolled a 42.
All right. So you do notice that increasingly you're noticing that people sort of have a very similar shaped kind of hard leather case at their side. And you sort of had noticed it before, but not really processed it.
Right.
And they seem to all have the similar symbol, the symbol of Obrive, which is basically is the silhouette of Obrive, which is, I keep meaning to draw her for you, and I keep forgetting. The species have stayed relatively the same that you've seen. There's the very tall awan. There's the very tall turtle folk with the segmented shells, so it's very interesting. There's the red scorpions, bipedal scorpions called the fanal. There's the awan, the turtles, the fanal, the kexeth, which are the short, stocky, powerful, cycloptic people with the tusks that go forward. They're about 5 feet high. Those are the main four, are they not? I'm not. Oh, and the Chidari.
The Chidari.
Yeah. So, which are the small little lizards dressed in sort of tightly fitted robes that have sort of elastic netting over them, so they don't have things fall out of their pockets and so on when they crawl up or down. They're the length of your hand, and they're often in these floating metal carriages that are pulled by a rolling ball, like a metal hamster ball, and that's powered by another of their race who is pulling along their carriage. So why don't you roll to see how long it is you managed to wait without having to get up and do something?
All right. 24.
Yeah, not too long. Like, you give it a good 20, 30 minutes, and then you find yourself going to have to turn yourself to something else. So what would you like to do?
Let's see what's happening at some of the, so we know some of the tents, there's like merchants, right? We've talked with some of the awan, some of the what are they, the phenol, right?
Yeah.
We haven't talked too much with the kexeth, I know.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe we'll seek out a group of them. There's like a social group, some activity going on. I've got my what's it called, Felthorn, I think, Kelthorn, as well.
Right. We sort of nicknamed it a mouth staff because they just sort of strike it into the ground and use it as a they strike it into the ground. It literally takes root, and it's got this thick, about 2 foot long thorn, and it's obviously thicker at the top, as you would expect a thorn to be. It has a metal cap, and you tap on the cap and it flips back, and there's a mouth at the base of the thorn. And basically it translates everything it hears out loud. And so it's apparently very common among the A1, and they use it to communicate all the time. So
very expensive item. I think it cost me over 40 mithril.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting and very different. Not your usual thing, certainly. Man, I'm trying to learn how to use this weird symbol thingy to draw while we're talking, and then it's not working. So
cannot comprehend the true form.
That's it. That is me. In a nutshell, that's me.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll mosey on down, just kind of walk through the crowds and see if we can find a group of Kekseth we might try to talk with.
Okay. Well. What is this going to be? Probably should do it in. We should do it in alphabetical order. Is probably how we should do this. I need to generate a random roller for who it is you encounter. So there's the A1.
Right. You probably have elf, goblin, dwarf, human, but not all these other guys.
So the Chadari, the Kekseth, the Null. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's it. So yeah, well, you get stopped by a Kekseth. They have a very powerful grip, and you suddenly feel someone grip your hand. You snatch it away, not used to being manhandled, and it lifts its hands in sort of contrition, I guess, and says something to you in a language you don't understand, and then it kind of peers at you. What would you like to do?
I peer back.
Whoa, a double peer?
Let's get more rare than a double lot.
That's right.
I will pull out my mouth staff, my Kilthorn, and give it a try.
All right.
Pull him out from this little bag of soil he's been planted in, that I'm carrying around, and stick him into the ground.
Tap on the thing. The little metal cap flips back. Little metal dome flips back. What would you like to say?
I say, I guess I should talk. Why do you stop me so? What business do you have with me?
Forgive me. I forgot my manners. You are from this world. I've heard your beings described. Are you enjoying the festivities? You must be quite honored.
Yeah, no, I mean, I say, I am. I'm actually looking for, some company maybe to share some tales with. If you'd know of anyone.
Well, I was so honored. You should roll for me. Actually, we'll do a nice perceptional roll.
56.
Very finely dressed, this gentleman. He's clearly of significant wealth. His tusks have been drilled on the ends, and he has gold rings.
Cool.
So his tusks are pierced, I guess you would say. Um, he sports several rings, although they have sort of short, fat fingers, so rings don't. It makes it look like they can't grab anything, much less a woman's arm. Um, so he says, it is such an honor to be among your people. Would you join me and my family at our spot in the stands? It would be honored. I would be honored to share such an experience with you.
Certainly, I'll spend some time with you and your family.
Well, I think he's inviting you for the whole watching.
The whole thing.
You have a conflict.
Yeah, I do. I say that I do have my own spot picked out, and I am. I'm afraid I can't leave it for too long. But I'm willing to, spend some time if it would honor you so greatly. I can't turn that down.
That's what I'm looking for right there. Is what I needed. No, I wouldn't trouble you then. I wouldn't trouble you. But he is crazy curious about you. You notice by his grip, I mean, his skin feels like very, like, what am I trying to say? It feels very, very coarse and very thick. And he says, your skin is so fine, so thin. How are you not easily burned? How is it possible to have such thin skin and not be a former president of the United? I'm sorry, that was uncalled for.
While you're saying that's funny because I just thought of the term "skinny." I guess literally means it's just all skin, right?
Oh, I guess I have never thought about that. Yeah,
maybe not, but that would make sense, right?
Yeah, that would be very interesting, wouldn't it?
Your skin is skinny. Yeah, I tell him that actually, yes, we lack your tough hides, and I point to the armor I'm wearing, and so this is what we make our own defense.
No, and we do the same in our sad times of war. The Chidari, they make the best, of course, clever little devils that they are. What business are you in, or do you grow food for your peoples?
I say that I serve a noble woman not far from here. Although in my own time, I seek out. I always forget we use the term like.
You can just say you explore, or
explore. Yeah, and I in my own time I explore.
You're a noble woman. I would be pleased to meet her.
Well, that may be how would I do that? That might be difficult to arrange, given that. How would I say it? I'm trying to say just like if he showed up there, that would be. You know what I would say? It would be the same as if I showed up on your world unannounced. It might cause quite a stir. But I can certainly put in a word and see if she would be interested in having.
Is she near?
I say, I guess it would be a couple days travel, right? A couple days travel.
Well, it depends on if you teleport him.
I don't know. Do I want to though? I kind of don't want to cause a stir at the keep right now. I'm kind of supposed to be away anyway.
Right.
So I would say it's a couple days of travel, or after the ceremony, I could take you there myself much quicker using special.
Your arts.
Mm-hmm. I'll draw you a picture.
It is difficult to know, however, if we'll miss the arrival of Obrieve. The portals will be open 2 days or so after Obrieve. Business is he in. I need to.
Well, I also asked him, are you from Odis or from another world?
Most of my people reside in Odis. A few had used the opportunities of Obrieve and her celebration to migrate to other worlds to find opportunity there. But no, most of my people live in Odis.
Quinn, it's funny you talk about peeling off skin when we just met a race who produces their own fabric from from their body. So not too far off, actually.
That's funny. That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
God, that would be really funny. It's like, I want to make mittens from your fabric.
Your flesh is so delicious.
Sorry, I missed what you said, Kevin.
Who knows what I said? I was trying to determine a business for him.
Right.
I guess I don't know how it'll eliminate. I'd have a chart for that. Oh, you know what? Maybe right here. Right here. That's right. I forgot. Roll for me.
35.
Roll again for me.
64.
There we go. He is a prominent coppersmith, he tells you. He owns many shops in many cities. In
Odis or
throughout Odis, yes.
Okay, throughout Odis, right. Well, I mean, it could be he could own shops across multiple worlds, too. Man, you can't imagine the commute. Jeez Louise.
He is let's see what nation it is. He is from the Kexeth nation of Hinalka. And there he has over a dozen coppersmiths that their shops that he employs. And man, how do you do colors in this thing? Jeez, I need to. There we go. Let's do it this way. So he hopes that he could perhaps start a business here. He of course would have to get a door maker to create a permanent portal here. Are such things allowed by your country's law?
How would I word that? I would say that the art of creating portals is not factored into the law. Actually, most people are here would. I would say it's best you do that in secret. Actually.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I could never. Have you no trust in your noble? Is she an unkind woman?
She's a goblin. Um,
So it sort of takes you chances, is what I'm telling you.
um, how do I say it? I have not. I say that I've known her for I think it's been about a month, right? Been at a little over a month. I've known her for a month, and I trust her in many matters, but not something. Opening a portal to another world is could be seen. How do I say that right? Could be seen as a going against their authority, right? Undermining their authority, right? Or a risk to their
Sovereignty.
sovereignty. Yeah, yeah. I guess I would also add, right? Portals here are rarities, so when they do, you know, yeah, I guess it's just that they're just pretty rare here, so they're a big deal, right?
It sounds like business here is more complicated than I anticipated. I will have to think on the matter. These,
I guess
other
actually,
races?
sorry
Go
to
ahead.
mean to interrupt,
No,
but I guess I know I've encountered. So I'm just thinking about Brise's own perceptions, right? She's encountered some, races from other worlds, and usually they have been very, covert and hidden, right? Even in Convergence, right? I remember
yeah.
running that kind of a creature. I guess that's generally just because, right, of unfamiliarity, right, with the magic and other worlds.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Here, certainly, it seems like you know, it seems like magic is much more accepted on his world as just sort of a matter of course,
Right.
and here um, it's your own world, of course. It's much more. It's much sketchier, right? People
It's
don't.
really, it's hard to explain. It's like in your world, it's normal to see, people who races you've never seen before, whereas here, that's very that gets a lot of attention, right?
Right,
However I can put that into better words.
right. um, not all of our peoples embrace the arts as commonly as we do, but um, or as I do, I should say. Um, but um, certainly the common folk um, at least expect portals because they're so commonly used in worship. Um,
Interesting. I say worship of. Oh, I see. To visit Obrive, right? To visit her.
right. Um,
I actually asked him how. I know that Obrive has been to this world once before, many years ago. How often does Obrive make an appearance in other worlds, right? Or I guess how often is this celebration held? Will she appear next week in Odisse or another world?
I have heard it said about 3 times a year is when she is expected. But it is so difficult, of course, for even some of my own wealth to take time off to find her and bask in her glory.
Okay.
That we all have lives, of course, and it's just very difficult to find the money to travel to where the portals are. They are not always as close as being here in Kilikon. And so the commoner, must hope to find time to do it in their own lives. and it's not always easy, unfortunately. Um, so, so I am simply lucky that I am able um, to visit when I can. Um,
I see. And I ask, is it more favorable to, like, think about my faith, right? Like, um, I say in my faith, it's favorable. Well, probably in any faith, right? Favorable to, um, make donations to the temples representing the deities. Is it more favorable also to attend more of these celebrations?
oh, I see. Is it considered? Is it considered?
Right?
Do
Is
you
there
do
any
more honor to the gods?
right or moral attachment to that?
Oh, geez, hit the wrong button there. Certainly, it's believed to attract favor. Yes, and there is also all as is trying to do a pilgrimage to another world to see Obrieve is considered a great honor. Um, uh, but of course, as I said, the poor cannot always accomplish such.
Right.
Let's see. Um, sorry, I'm still working on this thing.
Multitasking over there.
Sorry, it's what the smoke's about. Roll for me.
68.
You notice he has one of those cases on his back.
Right. Okay.
Or on his, on his side. Hard leather case, very nice. Symbol of Obrieve, the silhouette of Obrieve is prominent there.
I guess it's funny we started with leather case, right? But what leather did that come from?
No, exactly.
This is actually Kexeth leather.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to peeling skin off and making things out of them.
We learned that these people use these giant seals. I mean, the size of orcas to pull their ships in addition to using sails. And could you imagine? They're called the Kinnabor. Do you imagine the Kinnabor using Kinnabor leather?
Oh my God,
that would be crazy. So,
I ask, I point to the case and say, I've noticed many people bearing these. Tell me, do you mind telling me what?
Of course, you would not have heard of such if you're not a follower. Oh, we must fix that immediately. If you're going to join in the celebration, and he
get me an briefcase.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's important papers. That's all it is. And so he takes out, and it's just a large bell. It's a broad wooden handle, so clearly fit for his sort of thick fingers. And then it's a series of 3 smaller bells that fit in the case, each one marked with the symbol of Obrieve. And his are very finely made, no surprise there. What is going on? Just want a line. Give me a line. Thank you. And he glances around. He goes, "Would you permit me the honor of buying you a bell?"
Gladly, of course.
And he does know. he looks around. He stops. He stops one of the turtle folk. He says, "Friend, friend, hoist me." And the creature's quite
Not
surprised.
in public. Jeez.
And says, "I beg pardon." He goes, "I must find a bell. Like, hoist me." And the creature reaches down and just sort of very strangely, looks at you sort of helplessly, and you're like, "Don't look at me. I'm new here too."
Yeah.
And so she picks him up and he goes, and you see him point excitedly. He goes, "Down, down, down!" And the creature sets him down. He goes, "Many blessings to you, many blessings to you," and grabs your hand firmly, and off you go, pushing through crowds and so on. And
I don't even know this guy's name yet.
no, so
Buying Bell and hasn't even told me his name.
That's right. It's one of those days, honestly. That's so weird. Big enough? Yeah, we'll see. No, it's not big enough. But so you rush through the crowds, and he stops at a particular tent, and he says, "Kashrim has the best, very skilled. I would not lead you astray," and pushes through the people and so on, and says, my friend here needs a bell. The finest of this will give you. He takes off 2 of his rings, and they are really nice rings, and he slaps them down. Which race is this? It's Phenol.
Okay.
Oh, you need to snatch up your Kelthorn.
Oh, sure, yeah. I forgot we were. I'll carry it right in my hand. We can. Seeing it works like that too.
Right, so you're pulled through and deposited at this place, and then you replant it. Initially, the Phenol does not understand, and then it grows. Your mouth staff takes over, and so she was turning away to find someone who could speak Kexith, and then you saved the day. So she turns back, and you. So she hears and takes just one of the rings.
Okay.
And comes back with a very nice case. It's the leather is sort of a marbled gray. Has the symbol on there. The case is 1 pound. The Obrieve's bells are 3 pounds. It's a black wood handle. They're very nicely made. He thumps them with a coarse fingernail, and it is a beautiful sound. He goes, "Oh, that's nice. That is very nice. Oh, this will be such a memory for you. When Obrieve appears, ring when others ring. That's all you have to do.
All right.
Oh, it's going to be such a great noise this time. When the singing starts, plant your staff. Hear our words, huh?" And he pushes them back at you. And now you have a set of Obrieve bells.
I say, thank you. Can I repay you in any way? This is quite a nice gift.
The gift of your world is enough. It's been quite a pleasure. Oh, I feel quite honored to be able to do this for you. there you go. You have a set of bells.
Awesome. Okay.
I can't tell if that's the right color or not. Okay.
I wish I had a item lore still. I would love to see how these like bells were made.
Right.
What process?
I am a terrible drawer. I do not know how to use these programs worth of shit. This is what I'm learning. Oh well, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, buddy.
If you all this time you've been drawing and then you just show a picture of like a giant penis, I'm just gonna be like,
oh my god, that's
so funny.
That is so tempting.
This is what Obreve looks like.
I promise you.
I mean, it is a creator god, so you know.
I really, I need to figure something else better out to do here, but I can't do it. So it's gonna have to be what it's gonna be. But so
you know, it's really funny. I'm glad none of these aliens have who all approach me. They haven't seen Nalani on my shoulder and start talking to Nalani, and it's like, what pet do you have here?
No, exactly.
Like,
I see.
It's like the Shadari, right? Or so small, right?
You make your animal carry you around. That is quite smart, feathered one. That is excellent. The key, of course, being that you have clothing on and she doesn't. Right.
Well, we can change that. Start walking around naked.
You put all your clothes, and you put all your clothes on Nalani. She's just smothered. So,
okay. Yeah, I don't think I had any more questions for him. I forgot to say, did he called our world Kilikon? Or no, that's the city, right?
Right.
Right, okay.
That's the city that you came from, yeah.
Yeah. City in Odis.
Yeah, the
capital, but the city where this
the port,
port and also an otherworldly port.
That's right. I gotta learn how to do shading in this program because I don't know how to do shading really. But
well, if you want, we could. You want to take like an early break and you can finish that up, or?
Well, no, I think I'm just gonna give up and say, well, this is as close as Kevin can do, and of course, what I'll do is I'll wait, and I can actually show you whenever it happens. That'll do too.
Yeah.
So, man, like drawing curves and all this stuff in this program, geez, I'm not good at that. But he just walks you around. I mean, you're there for like half an hour.
Absolutely.
And he's just like, he goes, I don't know, honestly, if any of this food will be poisonous to your kind. But he's like stops and just shows you like dish after dish at these various vendors. Kebabs seem to be very big among the people of Odis. That, and there is sort of this starchy thing that they really like called noodles, and there's often served with a sauce and chopped meats and things, and there's a lot of that going on too. And some of it even tempts you, like the smell is really good.
Yeah.
But he goes through, he names dishes and beverages. You, of course, take a moment and check the sky. And then you think, well, I didn't even think about poison when I just sampled all those drinks earlier today.
We did. I do have the spell detect poison. So next time I do try something, I'll remember to do that.
Yeah, that would be a really good idea. So you guys go through various things. He says that this, he shows you some beverages that are, he says they are quite intoxicating. He says, he doesn't know if you have anything similar on your world, but, you go through and there's, you can buy pennants and flags and things like this to wave. Some of them do show, I've forgotten the name, the Destroyer God, which is the part of their pantheon.
Right. Which I forget too.
Starts with a K. Koloth. I can't remember. See, I took my page off my notes off my clipboard, and I should
There's
never.
a lot of things that start with K in this world. Kelthorn, Kiakon.
That's right.
Karandrin.
Oh man, that's the worst one right there.
Well, I'll find it. Just keep going.
So the and he stops you at some point, and he says, "Friend, why do you keep checking the sky?" And you realize you have been checking the sky.
Looking for Komont. That's what it is.
That's right. Roll for me.
Yeah, why am I checking the sky? 70.
Eagles.
Oh.
The Eagles are said, they said that they would be keeping a closer eye on things.
Right.
And wow, that very moment, apparently, if my double aught means anything, there's a host of them, very high, clearly trying to stay hidden among clouds, because no one of them is going to come down among thousands.
Yeah.
That's something I learned militarily from a buddy I used to work with. He was talking about, there's a movie called, was it Courage Under Fire? I can't remember what it was, but it was about a helicopter pilot in the Gulf War who fired upon an Iraqi convoy. And my buddy, who was a Marine, he was just so mad at her. He's like, that is the stupidest thing. A helicopter would never do that. And I'm like, why? I don't understand. It's got weapons. Why wouldn't it fire on the convoy? He said, you don't know what a convoy has. He goes, you don't know if they have a dozen rocket launchers in the backs of those trucks.
Right.
He says, helicopters do not take on that threat. What a helicopter does is it peaks up above a dune, double checks the coordinates, and then it calls in artillery and airstrikes.
Interesting.
He says, because that is suicide to go up against a convoy, because they could shoot you down just with rifles.
Really?
Yeah. He says, and then, of course, you think about a convoy, there's 50 guys there with 50 rifles.
True, right. One of them's going to hit your windshield and then.
Right. I mean, and you're not very armored.
Right.
Helicopters just aren't very armored except for the Russian Hind. And he said, she goes, she deserves to be shot down. She certainly didn't deserve a medal.
Oh my God.
He's like, that was just the stupidest thing. I mean, she was really mad.
Well, that's the weird thing about heroics, right? Is like, if she didn't, and that might have changed the course of the war, right? Like,
right. So the same thing for the Eagles, right? You can't come down into a crowd, and expect to be okay.
Right.
The Eagles are not happy. They must be freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything in my power to do that.
Unless I guess you could pull one, you could attract one's attention. You could teleport away and attract one's attention.
Right.
I mean, that would be the limit of your abilities there, I would say.
We know the Eagles over this valley would be Korakile's clan, right? Most likely.
Presumably. I mean, now that that Korakile's, is it uncle? To the north is also very much keeping an eye on things. And so I would assume there's been communication between them. Like
Yeah.
as a group, let's start watching the valleys more closely given the threats that have occurred.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's what I'm thinking is I know they're probably concerned, but they also know evil, right? Like they can recognize it. I'm assuming they won't strike, or do something drastic.
What they can safely do against this group, because it's already been attempted against other things.
Actually, Quinn's right. I need to take them all down. Revenge for my horse. Sorry, go ahead.
Phenomena wow, that's really a stretch there, Quinn. Man.
Phenomena.
But they can bombard this place with stone. From very high up.
Right. But I'm like, Brise is like, they wouldn't, right? Like they
it certainly seems unlikely. It seems like they would be more wait and see.
Yeah. I know Brise isn't very trusting, but she's also like, they seem sensible, they're not gonna.
Right. That's a different thing than you trusting them to do something for you.
Exactly.
Which is
so I'll keep an eye on them, look up every now and then, but
right. But like I said, behavior. You do have the ability, obviously you have a relationship with them, when an opportunity appears, if you want to single yourself out, right, and pull yourself away from them, you could play peacekeeper if you wanted.
Right.
So you spend, a good hour with him going through, showing you food and things like that. There are a lot of garment salesmen there, and they have a lot of ready-made garments as opposed to measure you and trying to make it whole. They have a lot of very nice supply. It's clearly all, no pun intended, but tailored toward a wealthier clientele, because as he mentioned, it's usually the wealthy who show up at these things.
Right.
And so, various garments with the symbol of a Brise, and various finery for the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would be interested in anything.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on.
Which means you would have the average opinion of a woman of wealth.
True, I guess that means I would be interested in at least.
Right.
Police. Yeah, that's fair.
So there are definitely, there's definitely.
As a man of wealth, I don't know.
Exactly. There's definitely skill among these people in making things. No question about it. The Chidari, you're just continually amazed at how, there's well made, and then there's Chidari that, and it's just in everything you see they lay their hands to, or their little claws to. It is some of the most finely woven, and by that I mean the thread is very fine. Mm-hmm. Things that you've ever felt. This is fairly ordinary cloth. The cloth itself doesn't feel special to you, but what am I trying to say? The material doesn't feel very special to you, but the way that it's woven is so finely interwoven.
Right. These are like full-size garments they're making.
Yeah,
full size for like someone of my height, right?
That's the problem, of course, is that everyone here is either a foot shorter than you or 2 feet higher than you.
Right.
But they tell you via the mouth staff that they can have it ready for you, long before the festivities are over.
Okay.
So there's blue and gold sort of gown. It would pass for a dress, and you tell them some modifications you would need made just so that it doesn't appear so unusual among your people.
Right.
They take no offense. They almost take it with as though bored. They're like, whatever, whatever. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Some more nice clothes.
It's 150 helm for this dress.
Well,
so you show them you have gold coins or not?
I do. I'm trying to remember, what did the guy?
It was 2 for 1 is what he was willing to accept.
2 gold for 1 column, yeah, is what he accepted.
Yeah.
I show 1 gold coin. Well, I would need mithril too because I don't have enough gold. So I'll show gold and mithril, right, and say, these are what I have. How much would this? If you'll accept this, how much would this transfer to?
They're willing to accept the coin as 1 whole helm.
Got ripped off in the other world. I'm marching back over there. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. So, what about the mithril then?
They are disinterested in mithril.
Okay, well, that's a problem. So I have 42 gold, so we do not have enough.
You have gems?
I do not. I believe I sold most of my gems. Okay, no, I have small indigo gem, a blue gem, and a small blue gem, and some treasures.
Okay, I gave you a code, did I not, for the small gem?
Yeah, the indigo gem is the N chart. 1 blue gem, again, N chart, and then the small blue gem is chart A.
All right. So where is my stuff?
The A and the N is for absolutely nothing.
They, I think, are going to be pretty pleased. There. No, that's not it. There they are. There's all my charts. There we go. They give you, they take the indigo gem and they give you back 125 helm.
No way. This is crazy. Okay.
You get passed around, because not everyone's an expert in gems, but there's going to be someone there who's probably their best hand at gems, looking at a value, and is trusted to make that evaluation. So it gets handed to a couple of people. There's a second opinion given, and they decide, yeah, it's more than enough. And so they, so that was a really nice gem.
That's also really, I'm glad I kept those gems on me. I didn't sell those. Those probably would have been maybe 10 gold,
Well, I don't know why you would think that. I mean,
I've sold other gems first at a similar, appraisal for 10 gold or something.
You got to think about the range of quality there are to gems. You see what I mean? Like,
are you saying it's a little bit metagaming to say if they both have N chart, they'd be worth the same amount?
No, actually, I'm not. I mean, obviously, I guess you are doing so in a way, yes, but that's not my complaint. My complaint is that as a woman of wealth, that for instance, that gem could have been a little larger, a little purer. The light quality could be better. The clarity could be better. The cut could be better. There's so many different factors.
I see.
To a gem, you're just not familiar. You know what you like, but you don't know gem value very well.
Okay, that's fine.
and so as long as you're going to a guy you trust, you assume that a gym dealer would give you, less, obviously, because he's not looking to barter, he's looking to make a profit. But there's so many factors that go into the value of a gym, not just what type of gym it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, you've made quite a bit of.
I mean, I'm assuming that's change, right? Like they take
125 is your change back.
Awesome.
That was a right, as Quinn says, for diamonds anyway. For some of the opaque ones, clarity doesn't come into it.
But, color, clarity, and carat. There you
go. And the 1K, which is kumquat.
The most important one.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay. Move that from my inventory. Add 120 Tellum to my inventory.
A horn sounds, and then is taken up by other horns. The air is just electrified. There are gasps. There are people start looking in the air, and there's sort of a sweep toward the seats. I mean, you're physically kind of moved and have to fight your way back.
Right.
You're told, and he tells you they feel it is soon now. They feel it is soon. The A1 have sounded the horns.
Okay.
Well, that means it's definitely
finish up this transaction, and we'll go back to my spot.
He makes one more attempt to get you to come sit with him and his family.
Well, I guess if I'm witnessing it now, right? I can go spend some time there, right? And then
that's true. Because
if it's right now, then sure, I can spend.
The Fanal are going to meet you this evening. Is that right?
I don't know if she said. Let me scroll back.
Because if she didn't say, then you are stuck at your spot. Then.
No, but I mean, right? How long do I have to spend with their family?
He didn't say. He said it's definitely going to be today.
For years, he will stay with us. Well, where did I meet this person?
This is with that group of A1 merchants that we're talking.
Yes. Yeah. So the Fanal, they said, given some time, honor provide me some fabric, given some time. And this was just this morning. So I'm assuming
it's already been several hours then. So what does that mean? Yeah.
I guess when she said some time, right? I guess, yeah, didn't know. Okay. No, okay. We'll play it safe. Right? We'll go back to my spot if you think I might miss them.
Yeah, I think you're worried about missing them, and it's such a great.
I was just thinking, if Obrive's appearing right now, they're not making fabric. They're going to be watching too, right? But maybe you're right. Maybe.
Well, and but Obrive is not appearing right now. I mean, you've looked up in the air. She's not there,
soon, right? Yeah, I guess. Okay.
They said it's definitely going to happen today. So they apparently sound it when they're certain of the day.
I see.
Sort of like Santa is on the Doppler radar.
We have Santa in our sights.
That's right. Okay. Fire the missiles.
I will politely decline and return to my spot.
And he says, "Remember the bells, and he's sort of pulled away by the crowd. People are going. You can see further away that people are going, closer to the other stands. They're heading to those stands and filling them up. I mean, there really are just thousands of people here, and the sharp odor that you really didn't care for. It's everywhere. And you think you've pinned it down. You think it's one of the noodle dishes.
No, didn't we say it's actually one of the people, right? I think it's the Kekseth or the Chidari, I think we said.
Oh, you think
A couple
so?
episodes ago. Yeah.
Maybe I forgot. Um, so they are, yeah. So people are filtering out. There's a few people who just they're clearly there for other reasons other than a brief. Maybe to get deals on things, and they're still lingering in the stalls. They don't care. Um, but now is the time to be watching the skies and so on. And
All the people who are like selling things, they just like slap on like double the price of everything.
right, right. Um, so
Oh, the Chidari are the source of the awful smell. Unfortunately, is what I wrote down.
that's really funny. Okay, I will.
Smelling. Actually, I wrote that the Kexits smell sweet, is what at least what the Awan told me when I first met them. Right, the Galkakek.
Roll for me.
I don't know if I've confirmed that or not. 96.
Yes, very much so. Honey is what you would call them.
Wow.
Very much a honey-like scent. Um, so
Honey with an Hunny. Oh,
it's funny,
honey.
sweetie.
How is Pooh talking?
Um,
It's like that, right?
so we'll get you back to your spot.
Yeah.
By this point now, I guess it's almost sundown. And then let's take a break, and then we'll come back and roll through some time, and then we'll have and then maybe we'll get to see Aubrey when we return. So
Yeah.
guys, we're going to go stretch our legs and refill our drinks, and just bear with us for a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. Last 2 minutes ago, we learned that Breeve's appearance may be imminent. Certainly, it's going to happen today. Horns have sounded. People have begun making their way to the seats that have been built here by these extra-dimensional travelers for the arrival of their god, Obreve. So we have quite a bit of hustle and bustle in this sort of makeshift city, and so people, you make it to your place of your viewing place, and you can still see your old spot, which has been taken over by another family. People are filling up. The stands can't hold them now. You see people are shifting down to make room for others and others.
Right.
There's a tussle here and there as people disagree over whose spot is whose. And you see actual clerics of Gelkakek's people, the A1. You see them coming and settling disputes. You see flashes and people disappear. Apparently things are settled rather definitively by the clerics. It's almost a theocracy. It feels like it's kind of
they do seem to be in charge of most, including the punishment, right? On
right.
Raymark.
Yeah. So the people are sort of fighting their way through the uncut thickets and things like that, trying to find places to sit. Others are filtering their way down into the valley and sitting in the streets.
This is worse than a Cowboys game. Oh my gosh!
Exactly. I mean, it's just an enormous spectacle. The portals have not stopped opening and closing. There are still vendors coming through, but clearly some of them are late to the game and disappointed. You see some that they come through these nearest portals to you. They're told that the horns have just sounded, and you see them just swing back through and get in line to go home because it's too late to set up and try to make any sales.
They're not even going to stay for the. Who knows? They might have seen this dozens of times.
Maybe
if it's 3 times a year, right? And you're a traveling merchant, that's
right.
Great.
Although
that's
the question
crazy.
is,
oh wow, what an interesting world building. Yeah, this god just appears 3 times a year. I go and sell stuff there, but if I don't sell anything, I can't feed my family. So whatever.
That's right. Yeah. So and you can talk to festival goers, festival vendors about this kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. Like some of them don't have homes; they have RVs.
Oh yeah.
And so one drives the merchandise and the other drives the RV, and they do a certain circuit of festivals, and then they try to make their year. And then either they have like a shop back home, they keep open the rest of the year, or they don't do anything, and they,
that sounds like exciting and also stressful, kind of at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, their lives are completely weather dependent, right? Because
something gets canceled,
Bad weather means bad turnout for families at the festival, So so it's sort of a quiet murmur now, just a dull roar as it's just conversations around you as people have taken their seats. It's 1,000 different smells from 4 different worlds. Now the most prominent individuals you see walking around are the Gelkakek, and they're always searching the skies and so on. And at this point, it's pretty clear that the eagles have been spotted.
Oh, okay.
And there are frequent um, frequent centitukes pointed at them,
Hmm.
um, examining them. Um,
Well, I might try to step in and catch one of the cleric's attentions and tell them that the eagles shouldn't, right? Tell them that the eagles shouldn't. I guess what would I say, right?
well, let's do it
I
one
mean,
step at a time.
yeah, yeah.
So you do find there's any number of ones near you. Um, what would you? The nearest one seems to be a female. If you've been able to piece them together,
Right.
to remind folk, the A1 are very unusual looking. They have these enormous, sort of amorphous gray disc-like heads that move and so on. Their mouths, when they open them, are just filled with unbelievable teeth. Their eyes can sort of rise in nodules above their head and can sink back down into the tops of their heads. They have two little narrow nostrils, and they're dressed in robes, those that are associated with the clergy. They use they sort of create this window-like pane through which they view. They can peer through solid objects. They apparently cast spells through it to gain information, and those are called centitooks. And we don't really know what they are, but it's an art taught to the clerical individuals of Odisse.
Ritual too. It's esteemed. Yeah.
Yeah. So you make your way down to one. She is watching the sky for Obreve, it seems. You're leaving your stuff back there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's not far away. It's still within sight.
I'll take Nalani with me though. As an example.
Ta-ta. They're just this.
No, I mean honestly, yeah, that's to give them a perspective. Yeah.
You catch her attention. She touches her, I forget what it's called, but the little translator, right? The necklace translator that they wear.
Right.
What is it, little one?
I say that I am from this world, and I notice that some of the great eagles have been spotted above.
Point them out.
Right. And just wanted to advise that they shouldn't mean harm unless they detect something evil. Right. They're simply watching over the valley. I hope your no one has the intention of trying to anger them.
You explain to them they're intelligent, they possess language, they can be reasoned with, but they're on edge due to recent events.
Right. All the good context.
My brothers and sisters are concerned. There are more than a dozen up there now.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll offer. Perhaps I can parlay with one of them and convince them that there's no need, no cause for concern.
The order will take action if they pose a threat. I say that only to protect them, but they should behave themselves. There are more than enough of us here to destroy them entirely.
Don't want that to happen. Okay. I guess I ask how long until Obreve's appearance do you estimate?
It could be any time after the horns sound.
Okay.
Usually less than half a day.
Okay. When and I keep forgetting, right? Obrieve will be here for a while, right? It's not a
Are
couple
you
of weeks.
asking me or are you asking her?
Asking you, because I think we've learned this before, right?
It's a passage through the sky. So
Right.
you don't, so it's hard not knowing how long, how fast. I mean, it's sort of weird, but certainly moments, but hours. It doesn't sound like a day.
Right.
So that's hard to say.
Okay.
Even from their context, you sort of have only a very narrow range of a weird, vague range of what it means.
Right. Well, we could try to hail the eagles then. Like we said, teleport further away, hail them, and then teleport back.
Find a really great spot high above the assembled.
Okay.
I mean, perfectly clear.
Right. I guess if I'm going to hail them, I should maybe make a fire. So I should bring
Well,
some.
their sight is remarkable, of course.
That's true.
And so if you wave to them, right, and you
Right.
consistently wave to them.
Okay. So we'll do that then. Just bring myself and Nilani.
So you tell the priest, I'm going to use my arts and appear high up on that peak. You see that spot there. All right. Take your time and roll.
I'm going to fumble my arts.
Okay,
yes,
do that.
long as I need, and roll a teleport. That is an 88.
Nice. Boom. Which power points are you using?
Just from my own.
Okay, that's 9 power points and 9 exhaustion. A very good casting.
All right. Okay. Look at me. I'm being an emissary of all worlds.
That's right. You appear there, no problem. Takes a moment to catch your breath because of the sudden oxygen change. And you start waving. Oh, dice down.
Never a good sign.
Based on coloration, this is one of Kyle's people.
Okay.
Younger male. Clearly trying to make a show of force. It's a bold, straight dive towards you.
I stand my ground. I've seen this enough times. I mean, if I try to stand my ground.
Yeah, you don't succeed. You back up several steps and you pull your cloak near you. You forgot how cold it would be up here, even at this late. The warmth of the valley is left behind. The bird lands in a great flurry of wind. Younger eagle. I am Benel of Kyle's tribe. Speak, human. You summon us amongst an unknown host. What is their business here and yours?
Okay. I say that my name should be known among Korokai's and Veshtar's. I'm Brise. And I'm just vouching for this assembly is that it's a peaceful one and shouldn't cause any harm to your kind or the valley. Urge you to not take action or do anything rash to stop it.
I have heard your name, though we knew you by description. When you waved to us, you are more impressive than I imagined. You do not turn your gaze from me. I judge your heart to be good.
Well, I do cardio, so of course. Sorry, that was terrible.
I do cardio.
All this hiking through the valleys.
My elders will need to hear more, though. As impressive as you are, they are not easily trusting. Korakyle, you have earned his favor, although he still does not know what to make of you. I will speak on your behalf, but I still must have more information. What is this assemblage?
Okay. So they are, might as well tell them the whole story, right? Assembly of people to witness the passing of a great being who will pass through the sky and then disappear sometime later. They're described that their name is Obrieve, and yeah, it should be a very peaceful event. This has happened many times before.
Tell them it's a god and so on. You're really not going to hold anything back, right?
Yeah, tell them everything. I mean, as simple as I can make it, right? I don't need to mention other worlds necessarily.
I mean, they see them coming.
I guess they see the portals, right? Yeah, I guess so. So might as well give them, yeah.
I mean, while they may not know what they are, this would give them an explanation for what the portals are.
Right.
To put your mind at ease, we had suspected that they were at least not evil. They had slain many trolls and ogres in the building of their seating. And many were killed in the process, yet they fought on. But these are not just our mountains. You should know, too, that there are giants in the north part of this valley.
Oh, gosh.
The giants have taken notice, but have taken no action thus far. We watch for them too, now that our eyes are on all valleys. And I will give you this as my word. If the giants march, I will come to you first and warn you and the people below.
Okay. Thank you.
But I would not tarry here, neither you nor the people.
Right.
You are in the valley of the house of Crom, and his house is 30 giants strong at least.
Okay. Wait, so Crom is the giant and he has a house. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Thanks, Gwen.
The house of hashtag miracle roll. Okay. 13 giants. Okay. I say then we will see. Hopefully the giants will have the sense enough to stay back, to observe like the rest of us.
The eagle cocks his head. It's like something clearly is afoot. The air tingles. Do you feel it? You don't. I must report to my elders in the sky, but I hope we meet again.
Did he say his name? I don't think so.
Benel.
Oh, Benel. All right.
Launches himself into the air. Goes. You sort of are taking a moment to process everything.
Right.
Galkakek appears before you.
No way. Buddy.
You know, now that you've seen a few, they are easy to distinguish.
Okay.
The heads are distinct, and there are differences in shading. He strides forward and puts a hand on your shoulder. He's clearly worried. His eyes peer down at you from the top of that giant muffin head.
It's one like if they cry and their eyes are retracted, just water just like
pours out of their mouth, you know.
Oh, are you drooling? No, I'm so sad.
You know how some lizards will lick their eyes, you know, for moist, you know, to keep them moist. And it's like they just drop them down in their mouth and swish them around and pop them back up.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
So, he says, "Are you unharmed?"
I say, yeah, no, I'm completely fine. We just had I summoned them and was speaking to them peacefully.
I was told, and I was told who it was. I knew it had to be you. Emotions to the sky. Is there danger? Were you able to make peace with them?
I did. They are convinced that this gathering is, means no harm to the valley or its inhabitants. However, they have warned of 30, a house of 30 giants to the northern side of the valley that have been observing the gathering. And I said, if the giants do advance, the eagles, point upwards again, they'll try to warn us ahead of time.
Giant what?
Oh, giants. I literally say just enormous creatures who,
resemble you.
Resemble you, you and I.
No, resemble you. They don't resemble Galkakek at all. But they
resemble. When you said you, I thought you were speaking out of Brise's perspective, right? Resemble me and are quite territorial.
He takes out his Senatuk. and sort of scans.
He just scans like, stop. Oh, that's a lot of HP. Oh my gosh. Hey, wait a second. I need one of those.
That's a lot of HP, he says.
Just completely breaks the game. Like, what? You can't say that.
You know, it's a great, like in Rollmaster system, right? That so they do have a lot of HP, of course, right? But the real thing about like the creatures that size, you have to get a D critical to get a critical.
Right, right.
I mean,
a good shot like won't harm them, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'll do some hit point damage and it'll hurt, but to reach anything vital, you have to get a D critical.
Right.
And then when you roll it, it's not a D critical, it's just a critical.
Wow, yeah.
And they ignore like they ignore severity.
Right.
And so just to get any sort of critical, and then it's like to get like an important critical against them is, I mean, it's like 1 in 4, something like that.
To get the shot on Smaug, basically, it's
right.
Yeah. 2 double aughts.
Yeah, it's at least two open-ended rolls.
Yeah.
And so that's a 1 in 400 right there. I mean, I guess, you know, with a lot of bonuses and so on, but what power level are you when you have a lot of bonuses against something that powerful?
Right.
You know. So they really did a good system, because when you fight something like that, it is a slugfest. I mean,
yeah.
And you're giving them shot after shot. Yeah. I mean, oh man. We've done only a couple of those, because, you know, most characters aren't so powerful as to face them. But the few times we have, oh my God, it's been, I mean, it's
harrowing.
Yeah. You wind up running. I mean, you wind up running a lot and trying to regroup, and then it comes after you. And so he scans. And then there is a blast, and he is thrown backwards.
Okay. Too much HP.
He is not moving.
I run over and, you know, try to get his attention. Are you okay?
There are no fragments of the Centitook. It's hard to know whether the Centitook exists as a physical object or not, right? It's because it sort of appears, but you don't know if they had it in their hand and it was small and grew.
Right. Or it's like a projection of some sort.
Right. A magical creation, temporary, and so on.
Light spell, yeah.
He comes to after a moment. A great form on a throne watches us.
Wow.
It is as you said. A female of enormous size. I met her gaze, and she raised a hand and destroyed my Centitook.
Wow. That's crazy.
I fear I have angered her. As she says that, a huge roll of drums comes from the north.
Oh my God. No way, Kevin. No way.
It just rolls like thunder and comes again and again. All heads turn to the north. The murmuring of the crowd down below, which reaches you from even here, falls silent He stands with help. He's surprisingly light for someone so large. As you sort of, grasp him, you realize they're really slender beings. Like the robe just kind of collapses and you're like, holy my God, You grab, Nalani lands on your shoulder. He says, a doorway will be easier for me. And he basically sings this soft, growly sing that they have that weird, gurgly voice. But here it's almost like a growl. And a purple lined doorway opens. You're outside of the tent with A1 guards standing at the doorway.
Oh, okay.
He walks only with your help.
Oh my God.
He pulls you toward the guards. The guards have spears with small axes at the end. The axe shape, though, is very thin, and it's almost like a spiked hand. I mean, it's a hand in the shape of a blade in the shape of a hand.
Right.
Very thin, looks incredibly sharp. They look at each other in confusion. The two guards, Gal Kakek,
I say, save your breath. And I try to explain, what we've seen. Someone's honking outside. The giants are getting angry.
That's right.
That's the giant. Instead of a giant like drum rolls, it's just someone's like honking their horn real loud. Like, oh my God.
As you explain, you're interrupted by Galkakek shouting, "Elders, elders!" Shouting clearly past the guards.
Okay.
Other A1 pour out. The guards make way for them. There's confusion and so on. And then there's the sound of rending above you. And you look up, and a shadow falls across the valley and then disappears in light. And above you and to the right, which would be the west side of the valley, there in the sky is Obrief.
Damn.
It's enormous. It is, to all intents and purposes, it looks like a floating building. Let's see. Understand. Lord. Let's see. Oh, sorry. It's having me confirm that Google can record my screen. Oh my Lord. I'm like typing your password.
That's right. Your Google overlords.
See, my stupid keyboard is broken.
Google is just Obrieve in another language, actually.
That's right.
creator of all things.
My keyboard's broken, so typing in my password is a real challenge.
Does it always ask for your permission? That's lame. Because I feel like
it's not going to let me do it. I'm not going to be able to show you this because it's not going to let me do it.
No! Oh my God. We have to. Can you type your password somewhere else and then copy paste it into the field? That way you can at least see if you're typing it correctly.
Yeah, let's try that.
Good old copy pasta.
Copy pasta?
Yeah. That's usually what people call
cut and paste.
Well, anything that's like spam, right? That you want to. Well, spam is another term, but it's hard to describe anything on the internet without using other terms that were to describe things on the internet.
Right.
I just copy pasta some spam, pasta and spam. Actually, that's pretty good. It's Filipino spaghetti. Sorry, I'm getting way off time.
Oh, come on. That is my password. Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. That's done at least. What? Oh, that's fine. That's so weird. It asks for username and password, but it put you on password and didn't put you on username.
Goofy. Can you read out your password just to make sure?
Oh, it doesn't matter. No one will be able to enter it on this computer anyway. I can't do it. Enter an administrator's name, and it won't accept my name.
Man, that's a bummer.
This is really irritating. And I can't even find now the click. I mean, this is my password. I did as you suggested, and it's correct. It's not accepting my password.
Crazy. The Giants broke more than just the Senate hook. Jeez. I guess leave it on a cliffhanger and show it next time once you figure it out, or
this is maddening. That is not it. That is not my password. Oh my God. No, that isn't. It's not accepting it. And usually it'll accept my fingerprint, but it's not giving me that option. Son of a bitch. You gotta be kidding me. We can just try to do it. Let's see.
If you send it to me, I can share my screen over email.
Let's see. Doesn't have permission to show. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me.
Is this something you can email to me, Kevin? I can share it.
I haven't saved it yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
Hang on. This is a lot of work for a poor drawing.
No, you got to build up the hype. It's best thing you've ever seen.
This is ridiculous. Compose, attach. All right, I'm sending it to you.
All right. I'm refreshing my email as fast as I can.
That's worrying that it doesn't know my password. That's not good.
Yeah, this might be the last stream we ever do. Kevin's gonna be locked out of his computer.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense. That's the
Wait,
password.
Kevin, did you send it as a? I don't know if I can open this file.
What I send it as a
As
.svg.
an AF design file. Did you
Hmm,
export it as like PNG or?
I can do that.
Yeah. Can I open it with GIMP? This is, as they say in the business, scuffed.
Scuffed?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
We're scuffed right now. But it's good. Scuffed is good. It used to mean bad, but now it means good.
Does it?
Yes. Just take my word for it.
This is maddening.
Unknown file type.
So I thought it would save it as a...
You probably got to export it instead of save it. Can I open up with anything else?
All right, try that one. It's crazy that it won't.
Quinn's trying to be very helpful. Goat rope? Goat rope? I don't understand that one. Quinn, can you tell us what you mean by goat rope? Oh, here we go. It's happening.
Whoa.
Everybody get ready.
Nice.
Okay, Kevin, just give us the thing again, right? The rending, right?
The sky rends open. There's a sound of rending above you. A shadow falls across the valley. It then disappears. And then you look above you and to the right, and then there is a...
Wait, it won't show it.
And then there is a floating building. So I need to hide this, and I need to show whatever you're gonna...
Oh! That's what we see. That's O'Brien.
So it just floats. I mean, you're looking at the bottom of it. It clearly is, you look at the bottom and the side of it, it has these overlapping domes. I mean, it really just looks like a giant building in the air. It's several hundred feet long.
Wow. Does it kind of match the statue and art I'd seen of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an enormous roar of cheer that goes through. Everyone looks up.
Start ringing those bells.
The bells start immediately. The elders, of course, are taken aback by everything. They are very hunched, by the way. They have stabs to help them walk. The one quickly grabs Galkakek, who stumbles forward. The guards grab him. Abrieve moves to the sky, sort of at the speed of a blimp, just very slowly. And singing starts throughout the valley. And it is, but it's so loud you can't hear the translation.
Wow.
Oh yeah, where's my where's Kia Khan?
I'll ring my bells too.
Are you
Actually, I
gonna
can
follow
because I
them
left
or
them at
not?
can't even ring them. I'm not even at my seat.
That's true.
Well, you know what? Hey, we have a miracle roll, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I want to waste it on this, but gotta make sure I have my bells on me. I took them with me this whole time, so I get to ring them.
I don't think it's required a miracle roll. I think we would say you probably strap them on, not knowing when things
All right.
are going to be on.
Don't want to miss out. Ring a ding ding. Let's go.
And so, yeah, you start ringing. Are you going to follow them in, or are you just going to say screw it and let them handle things and enjoy Obreve? Obreve really does. I mean, it is sort of awesome, and the building is sort of that gray.
Right.
It's got, like I said, like the overlapping domes, kind of like Sydney Opera House.
Right. It does kind of look like Sydney Opera House, yeah.
And there's a light that emits from it, although clearly it didn't emit it when it initially entered. Like it didn't have it on as it entered because
Right.
it cast a shadow, and now the shadow is gone. One of the guards, of course, has gone in with Gelkakek to help him walk. Another guard is sort of abandoned his post and sort of moving so he can, watch Obreve better.
Right. I mean, I feel like Brise would be pretty overwhelmed with the site, but I do want to help Galkakek and the elders. I feel like I would have more knowledge
You're sort of glancing back and forth. You're sort of torn. And then there's a gust of wind, and a beak leans down in front of you over your shoulder. And, oh no, I've lost you. Oh no. This critical moment, oh, are you back? Oh, you're stalling on me. Can you hear me, buddy? Man, this can't be happening. Oh man, this is ridiculous. He's gone. Oh my God. This is just great. On the arrival of Obreve, we wind up losing Max. Well, I've just texted him and told him to rejoin. There he is. So there, oh God. What the heck? I think we lost him again. Oh, this is maddening. No. Oh my God, this is maddening. This is ridiculous. Oh, it looks like you've got very few bars there, buddy. Oh my God. And away he goes again. Quinn, you got to find another line of jokes other than punning off of names. I think we're getting a clue from, oh, we can't even do that. There we go. That's, I think we're hearing say goodbye from Max. Oh my God.
What else to do?
Oh, wait, there you are. Oh God, this is the worst. All right, I'm gonna try to wrap it up and end it for us. Bunnell is down to report that the Giants were on the march. 4 Giants had left the home of had left the House of Crom. Oh, God, help us, Max. Can you hear us, Max?
I can hear you. You just can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, I was just trying.
You've got one bar.
Trying to make light of the situation. It's
So the House of Crom has turned back upon the appearance of Obreve.
okay.
So we'll come back next week. We'll return next week, and we'll wrap up the sighting of Obreve. As always, thanks to everybody for joining us. Sorry that we ended so weirdly with some technical problems. Nothing we can really do about it. And something else stuck in my craw, my giant eagle craw. But hey, if you think we're doing a good job minus the technical problems, then hop the donor box and send us some love. If you want to see more of Max, and I think you should, then please for Brise Quinn, please go to his YouTube channel where he discusses the role of music in video games. And he's got some new videos out, so go check those out. Thanks as always to Elliot Denovitz for their terrific character art. If you want to see more of their work, please go to artstation.com/Tortolua. And I've written a book called A Shore Too Far that you can find on Amazon and read on Amazon Fire. Thanks for everything. And Max, say goodbye to these lovely people before the internet says goodbye for you.
I don't know if I want to say every time I talk, it seems to cut out, but
this is true.
Thanks for sticking with us till the end. That was fun. That was really cool. We got to see Obreve, and thank goodness the Giants didn't march on us. So yeah, we'll see you next week, next Wednesday. Continue the story.
That's right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.